Hello everyone, I just wanted to do a video on the situation in Iran after the killing of Mahsa Amini, and I want to do this in English. I'm moving beyond my comfort zone, which is in Danish, and I just apologize for maybe mispronouncing some words because I'm not very fluent in English, but I'll try. So yesterday I went to the Danish media called Politiken, and participated in a podcast about the situation in Iran right now. And I felt afterwards that I missed saying a couple of things, and so that's why I'm going to say them now. So the situation in Iran began with an uprise because of the brutal killing of Mahsa Amini, but also a demand on putting down the laws on how women are supposed to dress and wear a scarf. But now, where there is, it has been going on for more than a week, the situation is quite different, and it's much more about the people of Iran wanting another future, another regime, another way of government, actually. And this uprise is helped forward with the slogan Zan Zendegi Azadi, which means women, life, freedom. And this women, life, freedom is interesting. It's originally a Kurdish slogan from the Kurdish feministic movement, and the Kurds are very well known for being a much more feministic, much more equal society than the Persians. And it seems very natural that this comes from the Kurdish environments. And the slogan connects women and life, and this is interesting because it shows us that this uprising is about much more than just the freedom of women. It's also about a more deeply recognized respect for life as something that has autonomy in its own and should be respected because of that. So this is not just about women in Iran, it's also about marginalized groups in Iran, it's also about other species, it's about, life in the rivers, life in the lakes, all the resources being mined. This is about the regime not respecting life at all. And this affects all of the people of Iran, even the men, even in a patriotic society like Iran. Everyone is touched by this, besides a few rich priests and the people surrounding them. But it's important to understand that the deep matter here, the lack of respect for life, that's not just an Iranian matter. It's not only in Iran that they don't respect life. It's also going on in Silicon Valley. It's also going on in the entire global north, the entire part of the world where we consume but we don't produce. And this makes us responsible for the situation in the East in so many different ways. So we tend to call the global East and South also developing countries. Developing in the meaning that they are not yet developed just as much as we are, and they are to be developed at some point, meaning they should all look like the global North someday. But what kind of world would that be, where the global East and South, just like us, are not able to produce anything, are not able to nurture life and create the matters needed to obtain life, and just want to consume? That's not a world that's possible, even the way we have even the situation as it is today is not possible. So it's important to understand that this way of capitalistic, patriotic, patriarchal thinking that is so widespread in the West is a big part of the problem. It's a way that does not respect the life as it should be. So, what is life? Life is the oxygen we breathe coming from the trees. So if we cut down the trees to make big places where palm oil or coconuts or bananas or anything that we like to consume, or even cotton, or all of these things that we go out and buy in different ways, if this is going to replace all the forests, all the rainforests, all the rivers are going to be put into feeding all of these fields of crops, then this is all part of not respecting life. And I feel very much that this is deeply connected with the situation in Iran, with the lack of respect for women. Because if you don't respect nature, then it's a very obvious next step to not respect women who carry life, and in an even bigger sense, not to respect at all anything besides money. So we need to keep this in mind if we think this is not this is not a matter concerning me, this is not my battle. Well, in the entire world, this is our battle. This is a feministic, very important battle for us to fight. Because if this now is a very vulnerable time in Iran, because now the riots, the people of Iran have been fighting for more than a week, almost 2 weeks now. They are getting tired, but also the police is getting tired. They are all getting exhausted. They need to know that the world is cheering up, that the world is right behind them. And a lot of people have been out giving this support, and it's extremely important. But it's also important for us, the broader people of the world, to understand that this is not just supporting Iranian women in their fight for freedom. This is supporting the idea of a softer future, of a future with more care, with more understanding and real respect for life in all of its diversity. So this is what I want to say, that we can't not fight this fight, because if we don't, firstly, it will have consequences for the Persian Iranian people. There will be some very severe consequences if this turns out in favor of the regime, because then all these people who put all this at stake, they will have to pay the price in brutal ways that we can't even imagine. Secondly, this will tell the world, the entire world, that it can't, it's not payable, or it's not reasonable to try and change things for the better. It's not possible to have a softer, more caring world created on the shoulders of this patriarchal situation that we have in most of the entire world. So we need to connect things. We need to connect this with the sixth mass extinction going on right now as we speak, and the climate catastrophe. We need to combine the riots of people in Iran with the floods of Pakistan, with the deforestations of India, with the hunger of all these countries in Africa. We need to understand that all of this is connected, and it's all about disrespect for life as something that should be the essence, and the highest value of life is life. Life wants to live in every sense. And all we should do, especially as a global north, being such big consumers of everything, we should learn to understand, we should educate ourselves in understanding in which ways what we are doing is actually holding the global East as slaves, but also contributing to this misogynist and life-hating, in a sense, world. So we have the power to not do this, to not continue being this forever hungry mouth that wants to eat all these things that we don't even know how to produce themselves. So we call these countries developing countries, but they understand, they are much more intelligent than we are. Trees are much more intelligent than we are because they are able to photosynthesize. They can produce oxygen, they can turn air into sugar. We don't even know how to do that, but we don't recognize this as intelligence. We don't recognize the caring of children and the giving birth for all species. We don't acknowledge this as wisdom or knowledge, and we need to do this. We need to stop thinking in this patriarchal Western way of understanding science as something very much excluded and different from the life of the experienced knowledge of people from the global East. So that's just what I wanted to say right now. Yeah, that's it. Just keep in mind that this is a common fight, and if we don't fight it right now, our children will have to do it. So just use your voice wherever you are, speak up, try to put some light on this situation right now, try to put some words on it, do whatever you can, see yourself as a member of this big organized group of people not wanting to accept this world anymore. In Iran, they go on the streets, they put fire to their scarves, but we can do other things, and I think we are very much obliged to do this. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.